we measure progress in the physical. Height, weight, strength. Kim Welch measures progress in time.
You only got so many times on this, so many days on this earth that just make each day count.
When he's not teaching in Moberly or watching his favorite show, American Ninja Warrior, he's working out as an escape from the uncertainty of not too long ago.
I just got to where I was just pretty much skin and bone.
My first thought, which is a horrible one, I thought bone cancer.
For 2 years, Kim was left confused and frustrated as his body broke down.
At one point, it was almost like seeing an 80-year-old man walking around in a teenager body.
The pain, too much for him to even walk UMKC's campus, forcing him to leave school.
It was just kept on getting worse and worse. And it was that point, was like I said, probably my lowest, and I just was preparing pretty much to pass on at that point.
When we started really pushing to get into Mayo and all, was when Kim, when he came to his dad and I and said, what's going to happen to me? How am I going to take care of myself? You all won't be here forever. That was getting to be my concern. What if he goes before we go? We literally would almost have meltdowns at night going, like, God help us. Please guide us to the right doctor.
Finally, after countless doctors and tests, the family's prayers were answered. Among other problems, they learned he had osteoporosis, a treatable condition.
I looked at every day going home, and I was like, yes, finally get back in the gym.
And Mom and Dad got back a boy they hadn't seen in years.
My husband and I were just sitting there, we have him back. We thought, oh my, he's going to have a life.
All of Kim's hours at the gym now serve two purposes: do what once seemed impossible and inspire his students by trying out for his favorite show.
Say like, hey, my teacher, he's on American Ninja Warrior, and it's not some person like, oh yeah, someone in Missouri, he's on American Ninja Warrior. Like, no, my teacher is on American Ninja Warrior.
It's the next goal in his long journey back, as he measures progress not in his newfound strength, but in the distance it took to get there.
The fans wanted a way to kind of forget about that, have some fun before, during, after the game with a tailgating experience. It's essentially like having a living room to tailgate in outside of Williams-Brice Stadium.
Born in Chesterfield, raised in Kirkwood, molded in Columbia, now employed in Kansas City, Jeremy Macklin is coming home.
You want to take a look inside this one? It's basically like you have a little living room here to be able to tailgate in. Very unique.
But for those deaf athletes and fans, the thrill of competition is just the same. Here at Busch Stadium, they're used to seeing a sea of red rooting against a team in blue, but today we're going to see a sea of blue rooting against a team in red. Of course, referring to the Cardinals-Cubs rivalry usually played out here at the ballpark. But Friday nights in Mexico have all the familiar sights, tastes, and sounds of high school football. Another familiar sight, Bob Gooch.
And then the fall of '60, I came to Mexico.
He's been here ever since, but before Mexico, he played football at Mizzou in the 1950s.
And I played for a great coach, Don Farrow, which the field over at the university is named after. He was like a second father to me, and he always took care of his players.
Which is what he strived to do after taking a spot on the Mexico football coaching staff.
It was just natural. I tried to treat those kids like they were my own, and I didn't want them coached and treated in there. So, and that was sort of Coach Fro's philosophy on that.
His whole life has been, teaching kids more than just how to play a game. It's how to live and what life's all about, and that's what athletics, I think, does for people.
Gooch became Mexico's athletic director in 1975 and retired in 1988, but that hasn't stopped him from going to every Mexico football game.
I don't miss too many. And I try to get to a little bit of everything.
For his dedication to the athletic program and the community, the school's gymnasium was named after him. But he hopes his lasting legacy is more than a name on the gym.
I would hope that I would be remembered for respecting the kids, knowing the kids, working with the kids. I'm just happy to be in Mexico.
Go, go! So every time the seasons change,
I look forward every fall and just enjoy it.
You can bet Bob Gooch will be on the Mexico sideline, watching the next generation, remembering the past ones.
I've known him for 53 years, and Bob Gooch will always be Coach Gooch to me.
He's not the only one. They are going to win in walk-off fashion. They run onto the field, but hold on. Let's rewind a little bit. Not so fast. We got to take another look at this, because as the ball skips off the wall, it appears to go over the wall. Take a look right there. It hits above the wall. Should have been a ground rule double. The Reds would come out and try to challenge that play, but they were told that the game was over, and the Cardinals will gladly take that lucky break. They win the game 4-3. Ledmus Diaz grew up on the same street as Fernandez. He missed yesterday's game to attend his friend's memorial service. Back in action tonight, and sometimes things have a way of working themselves out. Bases loaded, Cardinals down 1.
Diaz, high drive, left center, it is gone!
A grand slam for Diaz, clearly emotional at the plate with Yadier Molina. Cardinals leading 12-5 currently in the 8th, and I think we know who he is pointing to.